Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Now, I have a very special video for you guys today. I am showing off the Proline Ibeam kit, which I was lucky enough to get my hands on, and I've already installed it on my Axial 10-tube builder's kit there. Look at that. That is beautiful. But guys, before we can get all to the nice details, we have to go back and watch the time lapse of me putting this together. Guys, in today's video, we're going to be installing the Proline Ibeam kit. This is a new release from Proline. We're going to be throwing it on my Axial 10-tube builder kit chassis that I took to Axial Fest. It did quite amazing, but it did take quite the beating. So that's what we're gonna do today, is install this. And for the install, you're gonna need these fancy shock pliers, your Allen wrenches or Allen keys, some shocks, and some needle nose pliers. Let's get into the install. Before we start tearing into this kit here, I'm actually gonna tear apart the truck, take off the tires, the whole front end assembly, so then we just have a clean slate, and then we can jump straight into the kit and throw it all on the truck. So that means you guys get to enjoy a nice time lapse. Okay, now that we have the truck completely disassembled, we have all the front end pieces that we will no longer need. Separate pile out of the way. Here's what the truck will look like when fully disassembled, ready for the Ibeam kit. You will have nothing in the front. The rear will only have two links and the drive shaft still attached to it. So we set that aside, and right now we are working on the front dog knuckle cup things. It's those guys right there. So it's the little C knuckles is what I call them. And so we are now going to start on the front bag. So let's get to it. Okay, so before we get started in today's video, if you guys remember a little while ago, I was featured in an RC magazine called RC Car Action. It featured my truck with truck camper, the best build, the builds that everybody knows me for here on YouTube and at Axial Fest. So RC Car Action and Proline, they made me Pride of the Month. And so with that being said, they sent me a box a couple months ago, and that contains this hat, this shirt, and this box on the floor, which I'm gonna get into in today's video. But I wanted to say this video was made possible by Proline Racing, and I wanted to say thank you to RC Car Action. Let's get into the video. All right guys, so some of you are probably asking, what's wrong with Sandy? That's what this truck's called, because it's supposed to be this color, but it's silver. It's the truck I took to Axial Fest. Now, what's wrong with the current body? The body's great. It's in great condition. Did not get that beat up at Axial Fest. But you see, with the new setup, you push the suspension all the way down, and it's gonna rub on the fenders right here. And I don't feel like trimming that. That's enough about that body. But what we have in the Proline box here is an original Proline service bed. This was in package, but I was so excited to open it. I got this from my local hobby shop, super cheap. It was in the back, so that's super cool. But what Proline actually sent me, like I said, the hat that I currently have on, and one of their best sellers, the Proline Power Wagon body. And honestly guys, I think that's just gonna look pretty cool on that new Ibeam setup. So let's go ahead and get straight into cutting this thing out. right, guys, so check that out. I know you can't see anything because the body is clear, but we have the cab and the bed cut out, ready for paint. Believe it or not, guys, I usually paint the body and then cut out, but this had an enormous amount of extra Lexan on it, so I decided to fully cut it out, and it is ready for paint. I'm doing some measurements, and check this out. So body, service body is cut out, and it's almost like Proline knew somebody was gonna have this in their garage and that they were gonna come out with this, and somebody like me was gonna put this all together. Because if you guys don't know, the Ibeam kit from Proline relocates the battery tray originally from the passenger side of the vehicle to the back of the vehicle, which I prefer so much better because I hated the vehicle tilting like this with the heavy battery. But the Proline body here has this little notch in the front that goes to the back of the cab, and it sits perfect right there. I mean, that is awesome. And then if you go full, I mean, that's perfect. So I'm gonna do some more measurements and I'll keep you guys posted.
Weeks later.
All right, it has been a minute since I've worked on this Power Wagon. I have a couple other projects going, but this Power Wagon is now the priority because I only have 6 days before I have to film the running video for this truck. So today we are finally gonna get this painted, and I've called about 8 different people deciding what color to paint this thing. It was between this forest green pearl, which is by Chrysler, or this champagne pearl, which is also by Chrysler. The people have spoken and they said the green all the way. So we are gonna go ahead and get this thing prepped for paint and get it painted. All right, guys, we got the first coat down on the cab of the truck here. And guys, if you do a Power Wagon, please do the black fenders. I was about to not do the black fenders, but my dad was like, you gotta do it. So we are doing it. And guys, this is a very, very light coat here on the first coat. So we're gonna let that dry. I already may have put it a little heavy, but we're just gonna wait and see. We're gonna put some heat on it and see how it comes out. The cab is on its second coat of green, and up here the bed is on its first coat of green. This color is coming down quite nice. I know in the past I've had some trouble with the on-point paint, especially with this body up here, but in the end it came out just fine. So I can't wait to see the finished product, but we'll be back in a while when that dries. All right, guys, so the cab is all dry, and guys, it looks absolutely amazing. The bed is over here still drying, but guys, it is time to peel this off. All right, guys, would you look at that? The body is on the chassis. I mean, it flows so good with the wheels, the front bumper, the little winch tab there. This is definitely one of my more detailed paint jobs because you got the green and then the black, whereas the Gladiator is just the blue because the black fender's detached. But anyway, so all the shop work is done with this truck, so I'm gonna actually take this inside of my studio so we can throw on all the stickers, and I'll show you the final product. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. This truck came out absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to run this thing. But before we get to running this thing, in the next video we're gonna be doing some mechanical upgrades, which is just gonna absolutely transform this truck underneath this brand new body shell that is absolutely awesome. Guys, this color came out great. I am super happy with it. Look at that front end, that suspension, man. Well, anyway, guys, that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys in the next one.